Imagine not being Leeds, not feeling this pain, not dancing through thunder, not walking through rain. Imagine not rising with fists in the air when the world turned its back and no one would care. We've lived in the ashes, we've drowned in defeat, but still we stand proud on our battered old feet. Imagine not loving with all that you are. Imagine not being Leeds.
We love you, Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.
We do love you, Leeds, Leeds, Leeds. Now then, folks, hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's having a decent week so far. The countdown to the weekend of football doesn't begin because guess what? No football till next bloody weekend. Thanks, international folk. So annoying. But yeah, to be fair, it's been a nice little break, or it will be a nice little break these next 2 weeks, I guess. Although all I can think about is Leeds United, hence the amount of content I'm doing at the minute. So yeah, at least this weekend, Leeds can't ruin our weekend, can they? Which is a small positive that I'm taking from this treacherous time as a Leeds fan. But yeah, I wanted to talk today about the whole points per game, the whole 16th currently in the league. There's a proportion of the fan base. I would definitely say a minority now that think the majority who would like a change are crazy. It's crazy talk. What are you talking about? We've got a point per game. We're not even in relegation zone. We've never been in relegation zone. What are you folks on about? You're crazy. Give the man a chuffing chance. Well, I understand all them points. I would take a point per game. I would take 16th after 38 bloody games. But the context is we played 11 and we are on 11 points. But look at the teams we've played. Look at the form of the teams we've played. And I'm going to deep dive a little bit more into who we've played and who we've got to come and sort of put to the side the fact that we are on a point per game and how that can be quite misleading to folk if that's all you're going to focus on. Because I would I would take 38 points after 38 games because I think that probably keeps you up. Probably just in 17th. I think it'll be tight for that last spot. But yeah, I think that probably keeps you up. But we've only played 11. If we'd played 19 games and it were a fair reflection that we played everybody, then I would potentially take 19 points after 19, but I don't foresee us getting 8 points in the next 8 games. I don't see it. I don't see that point per game ratio carrying on, hence why I would like a managerial change as we sit here on Wednesday, the whatever of November. What are we on actually? I want to know. 12th. I'm going to say 11th. Good job I checked. Yeah. 12th of November, I would still like a managerial change. Can Farke turn it around? Of course he can. Can we stay up with Farke? I would say yes. I'll be going to the Aston Villa game with hope and optimism that we'll get something. And I will be cheering on Farke, cheering on the boys, cheering on the 49ers, and cheering on anybody else who will fucking listen to me. So my loyalty still lies with the club, Farke included. As much as I would like a change, I'll still be there supporting the boys because that's all you can do as a fan. I'm not one of these fans who wants, and there will be some out there that will want Leeds to lose against Villa. That may seem wild. It might be a very small minority, and I hope it is, but there will be a few people out there that will hope Leeds don't beat Villa with the aim of getting sacked after Villa. I don't want that to happen. I want Leeds to win. I want them to go to City and win. And ultimately, Farke will still be in a job then. I want him to adapt and change to get more points than I foresee us getting with him in charge. But it can be done. Worst sides have stayed up in Leeds United. But I want to put to bed the myth of currently 11 points after 11 games is good. Because 11 points for Leeds United after 11 games, with the 11 games we've played, when you look at it now, it's a poor return for me. It's a poor return. Obviously, you can look at the fixtures before the season started and you can say Newcastle are a Champions League side or whatever. But after 11 games, the form of those sides, Sunderland are riding high near the top, Newcastle are lower down, etc. So they are going to fluctuate. They are going to change. I don't see Forest and West Ham going down. So, yeah, these aren't exactly in the positions that will come the end of the season. But after 11 games, everybody says it's a decent measuring sort of barometer to go off. So let's look at the form of the teams we've played and the teams we've got to play and see how the points tally up. So when you look at the teams we've played, and this is where the 11 points is misleading for me. So 11 games played, only 3 games have been played against teams outside the current top 10. So we can look at Newcastle, Everton, and say, I thought they may do well this season. They may well go on and finish in top 10. Who knows, right? But you've got to take it on face value of what we've currently played. And we've only played, out of 11 games, we've only played 3 in the top 10. So I don't see how 11 points is a good return for me. I honestly don't. I really, really don't. Everton, great win on opening day of season. Fantastic first 45 minutes. Probably best we've played all season, still up to this point, in my opinion. Arsenal, shocking. And obviously, in between those early fixtures, we had a horrible cup result against Wednesday, which obviously you forget about now, but yeah, horrendous at the time. Newcastle, struggling this season in 14th. Yeah, they're a great team. And we had a few injuries, but they had no Bruno. You know, they had no Joe Linton. They had a poor side, and we still couldn't at home convert that into a win. And we'll say Newcastle at 14th. So I get that. But currently, after 11 games, they're not the Newcastle that we normally see for the last few seasons. So that's a couple of drop points there, potentially, where you're looking at home. Fulham, a 15th. Away at Fulham in London. We understand what happened in that game, Goodmanson. Like I say, it's in London, away fixture, all that. Fulham, they're a good side. Well, currently they're not. This season, they haven't been the Fulham, again, what we've seen the last couple of years under Silva. 15th. That's a loss. We then go to Wolves, and this was a very misleading win, in my opinion. We go a goal down. At that point, I'm already thinking if we lose this game, we're already talking about a managerial change. That would only after 5 games. Because we lose to Wolves, it would have come a lot earlier than what it has done, this talk of Farke in, Farke out. But we pull it back 3-1. Great result. I was there. Fantastic away day. The away end were bouncing. But again, 20th. We then play Bournemouth at home. Very unlucky not to win this. Don't get me wrong. At home, the Newcastle, let's say, really good performance, but didn't quite get the points. But you accept it because of who you're playing. 3 games in, I'm not expecting Newcastle to be 14th after 11, but they are. Bournemouth, at this point, we're flying high, a lot higher than 9th. They've slipped down a little bit of late, but that was 2 points lost. But on the face of it, you look at it and say, well, look at where Bournemouth are. They're doing really good this season. We'll take the draw. 100% great result. And that was a top 10 side. Currently sat in 9th, but the worst sat, I think, in 3rd or 4th when we played them. You then have Tottenham again. A fantastic performance again, but we lose 2-1. Again, performances mean nothing when you're a side battling relegation. But a great performance. I can't argue with it. A couple of deflected goals and kudos, man at match, star man does it, Then we go away to Burnley. The poorest result of the season for me. It even outdid Forest for me, and I know Forest were turgid at the weekend, but Burnley were the first real worry for me when I look at the warning signs and the worries. The moments I've been worried this season up to that point were nowhere near as vast as I felt during Burnley and after Burnley. That was a horrendous result. That was where it started to turn for me. West Ham, 2-1. Thought we're outstanding it first half. Second half took us foot off the gas. And obviously West Ham come back into it. They get a late goal. And luckily there were no more time left really in that game. Otherwise I'd have been worried if there'd have been 10, 15 minutes left when they scored that first goal. It could have been 2-2. But you take it because it's at home. 18th though. The last 2 wins against 20th and against 18th. That's how poor the sides we've beaten are this season. Brighton away. They're in 11th. Absolute hammerers, not the Brighton of old. Yet we come to town. At that point, they'd won 3, drawn 3, and lost 3. Not in good form at all. Leeds step up, and the spankers make them look like prime Barcelona. And then Forest, currently sat in 19th. So poor. 1 win all season. Step up, Leeds United. Come and get your 3 points. There you go. Thank you very much. Easiest game they'll have to play all season. So you can take your 11 points for me, and you can stick it in a pipe and fucking smoke it. Because for me, it's a fugazi. That means fuck all. 38 points in 38. Yes. 11 in 11 means absolutely diddly squat when you look at those fixtures. 3 teams in the current top 10. The 3 wins we've had, Everton in 13th, really poor slide of form. Don't get me wrong, probably where they'll finish. I think they've got a better side than they've had in recent years, and they're going to probably, the league position will show that now and beyond. The recent fixtures for me, they've been a relegation battling side for a few years. They've probably turned it all right now. But Everton 13th, not outstanding, but 13th. Great win, really, opening day. You take that opening day, what can happen? You could beat bloody City at home on opening day. Opening day, cards sort of wiped clean. We're on that bounce from promotion. Fair enough. We beat Everton, great result. Since then, we beat bottom of the league and second bottom of the league at the time of playing them. That ain't good enough. That ain't good enough. Not when you've played 14th, 15th, 17th, 11th. You've played so many sides outside that top 10. And the only wins we've got, bar the opening day, is against chuffing West Ham and against Wolves, which is over half our points have come against those sides. So, yeah, great. You need to beat them. You need to. But you also need to be beating teams in and around you, close enough to you as well, like your Burnleys, like your Forests. It's not like we've beat every single team round, does it? Look at Fulham. Fulham beat us in 15th. Forest beat us in 19th. Burnley beat us in 17th. One more win, a win and a draw out of them, and things look a lot more rosy than they do. But it's very misleading to go off the point per game based on the 11 games we've played. You then switch it and look at the next 9 games. Look at this. Next 9 games, we play 8 out of the top 10. The only team who aren't in the top 10 are Brentford, away. Guess where that is? Down south. London. Do we just chalk that one off too? So we've got 8 games against the current top 10 and an away trip to London. Where's his points coming from there? Where are our 9 points coming there? And a lot of these people, the believers, will turn around and say, we'll beat Villa, that's free. We can go to Brentford and win, that's free. Palace at home, Sunderland away, that's free. Is it though? We can do Scum at home. Can we though? Seriously? Realistically? Where are our points coming there? For me, Farke gets to the Villa game. Maybe he goes beyond it. But for me, Farke does not take us into the new year. I just don't see how. And people will say if we get beat at City, beat against Chelsea, Liverpool, Brentford, Palace, they're hard games. Any manager will lose them games. Well, that's not factually correct, is it? It's not. A new manager could come in and switch something up and maybe get something from this team. And if he doesn't, what have we got to lose? Because that Farke don't get out from, for me. Can we beat Villa at home? Yes, we can. Will that mask over the problems? Yes, it will. Because even if we beat Villa at home, it'll take us to 14 points in 12. By the time we get to end the Liverpool game, we'll be behind the point per game ratio again. Going to Brentford away again in London. But the point per game ratio is only good when you get to the latter end of the season if you're still in tune with that. Because for me, there's a downward trajectory. There's been a change of momentum from playing really well. Even the games we didn't get results, when we needed one, we got one. And we've always been just in front of that points per game ratio. Now we level with it, with that as your next 9 fixtures. I cannot go along with that if that's your notion for being a believer, that everything's okay. It's not. For me, you're a happy clapper. And that's fine. You can believe what you want to believe. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. But for me, get your head out the sky, get your head out the clouds. I can't deny we've done okay. But okay is not good enough with the fixtures we've had. We had to do better with those opening 11 fixtures. 11 points out of them, when you look at the form of the teams we've played, is not enough. We needed to have at least a win and maybe a draw more. We needed to be in and around 15 points in 11 to give us a bit of gap for the games we are inevitably going to fucking lose. And that's what frustrates me when you get people saying everything's fine. Farke's the man. The lads, we're doing okay. We're on level for 38 points in 38 games. How we chuff? We're nowhere near on par for that. I think when you look at the hardcore facts there of what's to come, you can see as fixture list really has been quite lopsided. We've had an easier start than what a lot of us thought we maybe had. Based on the form of sides right now, after 11 games, we should have had more points in the opening 11. Despite performances being good up till the Burnley game, it started going downhill. When you look at that cluster of games, when you look at those games there, from Burnley, 1, 2, 3, 4 fixtures, Burnley, West Ham, Brighton, Forest, we needed more than 3 points. 3 points out of those fixtures is not enough. 12 points on offer there. You had to get something from Burnley and Forest. It should have been at least 6 points from them 4 games. At least. Had to be 4 points as a minimum, and we fell below that. I don't know what gives you confidence from those results there, taking into here, that makes you think we're going to continue. After 20 games, we're not going to be on 20 points. That ain't going to happen, in my opinion. And if it does, I'll come on here and I'll say, get in. And guess what? I want it to. I'm going to be cheering us on for every single fixture we have. But it's the projection of where I think we're going to be, where I can see us going, that is the concern for me. Under Farke, without Farke, it's going to be tough. And I hope I'm wrong. But this is where I fail to understand the logic. Because a lot of people just look at the points, we're okay. Look at the smaller detail underneath the points. Break it down. Let's have a look at it. It just don't look good. And I mean, when you look at, let's get it up here. Let's get the table up. And you look at us there, hovering in 16th, 3 wins out of 11, 2 draws. We need to be drawing more games. In the games where it's tight and we're losing by odd goal, we need to be drawing. Fulham had to be a draw. You know, games like that, we have to be drawing in them. 10 goals scored, not enough. 20 conceded, minus 10 goal difference. It's not as bad as, you know, everybody know, but it's right down there. You look at it now with joint with West Ham and Forest. Before we played Forest, we were ahead of them in terms of goal difference. Now there's only Wolves with a worse goal difference than us. The right, you know, the warning signs are there. Look how many goals we're conceding. Almost 2 goals a game. We're scoring less than a goal a game. 1 win in 6. That form is bad for anyone. That is bad for anyone. And when you look at the teams we've got to play coming up, your Cities, your Chelseas, your Sunderlands, your Villas, your Man Uniteds, your Liverpools, your Palaces, where are we getting us points from? Where are we getting us points from? For me, it's borderline delusion to just go along with that for the sake of it. I live in hope that I'm wrong, but I'm a realist. I'm not a happy clapper. I have a lot of fallouts with my best mate Priestley because he's a total opposite to me. Of course, we can win any game we go into. It's football, it's sport. Nothing's a given. But yeah, I had to get that off my chest this morning. Mr. Whitesnake, I love you. I watched your video this morning. A lot of points, a lot of positive points. I understand where you're coming from. But for me, the point per game notion, yeah, very misleading. But yeah, have a great rest of your week. Let me know your thoughts. Please like, please comment, please subscribe if you're new here. A lot of content going out lately. I've got a lot on my mind, inside and outside football. But yeah, I'm really enjoying the content, even though it's turgid to talk negatively. Yeah, when my creative juices are flowing, I like to come on here and have a chin wagon. At the minute, I can't switch off from Leeds United. I cannot switch off from Leeds United at all. It's all I'm thinking about. I'm looking at the finer detail. I'm looking at fixtures coming up like I've done here, and I'm really trying to find hope and positives in what's to come. And it just looks very tough, very tough. But yeah, take care, everybody. Please smash a like on the video. See you soon. Bye bye.